Hello, my name is Will Hamilton. I am a 20-year-old from Tennessee, and I would like to introduce you guys to the Mic Check podcast. I decided to start this just as another way to kind of get myself out there. I make music on the side. I stream and make videos on Twitch and make videos on YouTube too. All of that is under my initials, which are WNH, if you all would like to check that out later. But I just wanted to get on here and just kind of talk. I want these to be more unfiltered, unedited, just, content. Sometimes serious, sometimes playful, sometimes fun. Just kind of content that, can help people in more ways than one. And so that's why I decided to start this podcast. I've always wanted to start one again. I was doing one for a little bit with a friend a few years ago, but that kind of fell through. And so I decided to take the chance to start one now and, go ahead and I guess take it over myself. So for this first episode, I want to talk about mental health, specifically my experience with it. I have not been, I have not had the easiest route when it comes to mental health. I had really bad mental health for a long time. I would say maybe about 2.5, 3 years. I was just struggling with my mental health and struggling with finding like a sense of happiness. And it was very, very difficult. And so it definitely took a village to get me back to where I am now. I would say right now I am the happiest and I'm the best I've ever been, which is great, but I still feel like there's room for improvement. So a little background, I have my mental health journey and journey with depression and everything started in, I would say around the time COVID started, early 2020. And it was rough. It was very difficult, especially because I was in my junior year of high school when all of COVID happened. And so it just kind of messed with my mental health and everything like that. Fast forward, 2021 wasn't a bad year. I graduated, went off to college and everything like that. And my mental health wasn't the best, but it wasn't as much of a factor as it was last year, 2022. I have gone on record many times on social media, like my Instagram. I still have a post up about it now. 2022 was by far the worst year of my life. I questioned a lot of things, questioned a lot of people, a lot of choices. I questioned myself a lot, and it led to just my family and everybody being scared on if I was even going to make it through the year, or thinking they were going to lose me. And yeah, it was very difficult to get through it, and it was just a lot that happened, whether it was things with relationships or, school took a really big dip and everything like that. It just kind of, everything bad that could have happened pretty much. And so I started seeking help. I started going to therapy, which if you don't go to therapy, I would recommend it. If you need it, it literally is one of the things that saved my life, being honest. Therapy is very, very helpful and very, very good. I'd recommend it for anybody who needs it. Talk to somebody if you need the help. But I went to therapy and I started working on myself and loving myself, because I realized the one thing I never did was love myself. I was able to love everybody else, but I didn't love who I was. And so I just worked on that, and I kept on pursuing just, self-love, and kept pursuing my faith, and kept pursuing just everything that would, help me get back to the person I wanted to be. And so one of the things I started when I was kind of struggling, going to therapy, things like that, I started doing weekly to monthly check-ins with myself. And it would just be, I would be in my room, I'd say maybe a few months. I know I did one in March this year. I think I did one in June too. I would just be in my room, and I had questions like, how is your mental health? How is school going? Are you progressing the way that you wanted to last time you did this? And I just kind of had questions, and I would just type out everything I felt. Like, even like the things like the ums and the uhs and the I don't know. It's just everything that I felt was just kind of typed out. But once I started speaking about my problems, which the first thing I actually ever spoke about my problems was on my Instagram, which is it'll be in the description below. I made a post about 2022 and how monumental, like how monumental of a year it was. Like, it was a very bad year, but I also learned a lot, and I learned so much to kind of change how I see life now. And so I'm happy it happened, looking back a few months after it's ended, but it's not going to take away that it was a very difficult year and a very hard year for me. But I have moved past it, and I'm moving in a good direction, which I am happy for, and I'm excited for what's next. But back to these mental check-ins. Sorry, I kind of went off tangent. With these mental health check-ins, I just kind of started doing them as a way to keep speaking out. I didn't really share these before, but I decided to give myself one since school started back last week for me, to kind of see where my head's at for school. And I decided to record this one and post it just for anybody who would need it and things like that. For anybody who needs it or anybody who's going through a tough time, just know that you are not alone, and there are people who can help you, encourage you, and help you make it to where you want to be. It's not something you have to do by yourself. You've got a village. You just got to find them, and you just got to hold on to them. And once you find them, it's one of the best feelings. I can definitely say that. But for this mental check-in, let me grab my phone so I can see my questions. So okay. My first question that I have for myself is, what are you doing to help you get through it all? So for me, to get through my mental health and to get through the struggles that I've experienced, I've turned to things that, helped bring me comfort. Like I said before, I've been making music and I've been streaming. I have been making music. I think my first song I ever put out was early last year. About March last year, I did a feature on a song, and then my first song I dropped in May last year. And then I just didn't do anything until, I'd say, October is the next time I even worked on a song. And it was one of my favorite songs I've ever made, I've ever been a part of. I loved it, and I started making music and dropped my first true single. I don't really count the one I put out in May, but I dropped my first true single in November of last year, and I've just been making music since. Y'all are going to be, whoever sees this is going to be the first to know, I'm actually dropping an album sometime late this year. I don't really know yet. I'm still working on times, but I'm just working on songs, and it was just kind of like how I coped with everything going bad, and I just started enjoying it and made me happy. So I just kind of keep doing it, and I keep on trying with it because it's where I find my comfort. But then also I have streaming, and streaming has always been there for me. I was streaming back when I was still in high school, which is something I did for fun with my friends, and then we decided to take it serious. And taking it serious is what really kind of helped me find what I wanted to do with my free time. And so tried to do that. I've tried to make videos. I'm currently in the process of 100%ing games. Like on PlayStation, you've got platinum trophies, but I'm on Xbox, so it's just 100%ing, or just kind of however much of the gamer score that is, just getting that amount in the game. It takes a lot of time. I think I'm on my third game. So, yeah, I'm just doing that at the moment and just kind of living every day, just one step at a time, not really trying to do too much or constantly be going, just take time to relax, but at the same time keep moving forward, because as long as I keep moving forward, then it doesn't give me time to ever look back and look to the past and things like that. Speaking of the past, though, I have kind of lived with the philosophy of it's good to remember the past, but it's bad to sit in it. I remember everything I went through, and I still look at it, and I'm still proud of where I am now, but I'm not going to ever look back at it and try to reminisce and try to think about, oh, well, this happened back then and everything like that. It's in the past for a reason. And if it wasn't supposed to be in my past, then it would still be my present, or it would be in my future, but it's not. So, yeah, I would say finding things that help you be more comfortable with yourself and finding things that help you, make it through your days is what I did. I also had a very great community of people. I had my parents, I had my brothers, I had my close family friends. I had a very good church that helped me stay devoted in the word and everything like that. And eventually over time, I just got happier. Jokes came out more. I was laughing more. I was smiling more. And I was just happier as a whole. And yeah, it helped me a lot. So I would definitely say just finding those things and taking every day one day at a time. Don't worry about what you've got going on next week. Worry about your day. And, speak up. Talk. Say what you feel. Don't be scared to say how you feel or be yourself or whatever you want to do because of somebody else. That's definitely what I would say. That's what helped me through it, pretty much. Are you happier than the last time you wrote things down? The last time I wrote things down was in June. I would say I am happier now. I have really kind of gone full speed at music, and I'm really enjoying making it. It's been really good, and I think it's good stuff. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave the 4 main places, because I know it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud. I'll leave those 4 in the description. If not, just look up my name, WNH, on wherever you listen to music. You'll probably find it. I've been occupying my time better, and I've been taking care of school. I would say this is the first school year in 2 years. I graduated in 2021, and then I started my freshman year that year, and then my sophomore year last year. This is the first year where I feel like I really have started the year in a good mental space. And so I am excited and ready for what's next, because I feel better about myself, which is just amazing for me to be able to say now, knowing where I was just this time last year. It's just crazy to say that now. But, I feel like I'm in a better place now. I'm more devoted to my Christian background. I'm also doing things not because I need something to do, but because I want to do them. And I feel like that's better than, feeling like I need to do something. I don't feel like I need to make music. I do it because music is just kind of what I enjoy and everything like that. It makes me feel better to be able to say that now. Look at myself and say, you're doing everything you want to do, not what you need to do to make it through your days. And so, I would definitely say that I am in a better spot right now. So, how is my mental health? I'm not going to say that I don't have my bad days. I actually had a very bad situation not the past couple days. It was about, I think it was last Tuesday. I was on the phone with my parents and my grandmother, and I was just kind of looking at myself, questioning everything, because I stay in a dorm at my school. My school's about an hour from my home. And I stay in a dorm, and I stay up here Monday through Friday. And it was just Tuesday. I don't know, all I really did was lay in bed and just watch like Netflix all day. I was gonna work on music, couldn't bring myself to do any of it. I was gonna try and stream a little bit before I ran out of batteries while I was up here, and I would just get on and I just couldn't bring myself to play a game. And all I could literally bring myself to do besides go to school and go to classes was just sit in my bed and watch fake people live a fake life. And that was like the only thing that really brought me comfort. And it was just weird because these same things like streaming and making music were things that I loved doing. Like I was obsessed with doing just the week before. And I was like, am I crazy for this? Am I like insane for feeling like I'm like just lost because the things that I enjoyed just a few days ago I can't stand anymore? And my parents and my family just kind of sat me down and was like, look, it's not out of the ordinary to just feel like things have changed. It's just school started, your priorities are different now, and eventually over time these things will come back and you'll start enjoying them again. And they were right. Like the next day I just started looking for, started writing a little bit more for music, started just playing my Xbox a little bit more, and then it led to me getting back to where I feel like I enjoy my stuff again. Like I was at home this weekend without my Xbox and my TV, and I was miserable because I just couldn't, it was literally like the first weekend I wanted to play something and it sucked. But yeah, it's just, that was like the one big thing that happened, was just kind of like I felt directionless, because usually when I wasn't in class or doing stuff with class, I was spending my time on the game, or I was spending my time working on music or just listening to music, and those things just didn't feel the same for me anymore. And so I was like, what do I even do now? And I just felt directionless in that sense. But again, it took my village talking to me and telling me that it's okay to feel that way, telling me to get out of it. And so my mental health, I would say, is okay. I'm usually pretty content, and I'm usually pretty good. Yeah. So the next thing, this is my second to last question I've got for right now, is how do you feel out in public now? For some backstory on this, when I was very depressed and struggling, I did not like being out in public with like tons of people, just because I wasn't really comfortable. Like I just kind of put up a facade most of the time, and you could see it on my face that I wasn't, in the place where I needed to be. Now I feel like I'm much more confident, I'm much more positive, because I've started living in the mindset that nothing is really promised, and tomorrow isn't promised. So I'm going to live every day, and I'm going to live every day the way that I want to. And the way that I want to live is I want to be somebody who everybody can look back at and say he left a positive, I can't think of the word, he left a positive impact on his community and his school and his job. And I want to be just somebody who, even if I'm just saying something to a passing person like, hey, I like your shirt, or I like your shoes, that could, change somebody's day. Like I know how I feel when I get complimented on something, and it could just help somebody. So that's just what I want to do. And so I try to, at least be approachable, be able to have a conversation with somebody. That's just what I'm trying to do now. And so, yeah, I would definitely say I am more approachable, and my people skills have gotten better because I'm happier with myself. I'm not trying to just, hide away and everything like that. And so for my last question for myself, and I always make sure that this is the last one I do, what are your goals for the next time you do this? And by that, I mean, like, where do I want to be the next time I do one of these check-ins? And just to make sure you guys know, I don't like set up my next day I'm gonna do these. I just kind of like, and I'm sitting around or just in class, I'm like, you know what? Let's check in on myself. Let's see how I'm doing. And so I just kind of do it, and then I just let everything out. That's kind of how I do these when I do them and everything like that. But my goals for the next time I do this, hopefully I plan to build a community of not only myself but people who, want to do big things in this world. Whether it's people I meet through music or people I meet through streaming or YouTube videos or this podcast. Just kind of meeting people and finding like a connection in a group. Just making connections, meeting people. And yeah, I don't really know what I want to prioritize besides my mental health. Obviously, my mental health is number one in my life. Okay, number two behind the Lord, obviously. But my mental health is very, very, very important to me. And so that is one of the things I prioritize. And that's one of the things I will keep prioritizing as long as I live. But just kind of, I want to keep on moving forward like I have been. I have kind of always wanted to keep moving forward. Even though with everything bad to me or every blow that I take, I just kind of want to keep on like inching forward. Even if it's like I'm crawling through life, I'm still moving forward, and that's all I could ask for. So, yeah, that's just kind of, those are my goals, just moving forward in life and making the most of every opportunity I get. So, this is me, my mental health check-ins as well for now. I'm going to put probably all my socials down in the description below. I'll put my Twitch, I'll put my, everything for music. I'll put my YouTube where I post videos, I post gaming videos and everything like that. But this podcast is just starting out. I'm still figuring out things that I want to do. The one thing I can say is that this episode especially is for anybody who could use, a pick-me-up, or anybody who could just, use the support. You're not alone. You've got people. Just, be yourself and be willing to ask for help, because it is not a bad thing at all to say that you're not okay. It's not a bad thing at all to say that you're coming down and you're struggling with something. It is perfectly fine. And being honest, people can't help you if they don't know what's wrong. So just talk to somebody and everything will work out for you. But this is Will signing off the Mic Check podcast. I will see you guys whenever I'm back on here. Take care. Peace.